Regardless of the Schumer shutdown, the Democrats will terminate the filibuster the first chance they get. They will pack the Supreme Court of the United States, pick up 2 states, that's a lot of states, and add at least 8 electoral votes. Their 2 objectors are gone. Remember, Sinema and Manchin, they're gone. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid, Republicans. Republicans, you will rue the day that you didn't terminate the filibuster.
I'm on the record, and I want to be consistent on this. I absolutely loathe the legislative filibuster in the Senate. I think it should be majority rule, and I'm okay with them nuking it.
There we are. President Donald Trump is preparing to annihilate any Republican senator that does not push to end the Senate filibuster, and Anna thinks he should get his way. Cenk, can't wait to hear your 2 cents.
Yeah, I think I'm on Anna's side. There's one thing I'm worried about that we'll talk about in a minute. But this war between Trump and the Republican senators is also really interesting. The senators claim that they're going to hold strong. Will they? We're going to find out.
So Trump wants to end the filibuster so Republicans in the Senate can end the government shutdown without any support from the Democrats. Thanks to the filibuster, bills need 60 votes to pass, but without the filibuster, Republicans would only need a simple majority. They outnumber Democrats right now, 53 to 45 plus 2 independents. Trump is planning an all-out pressure campaign to scrap the filibuster. An anonymous Trump advisor telling Axios what will happen to any Republican senator who stands in Donald Trump's way. Trump will make their lives a living hell. He will call them at 3 o'clock in the morning. He will blow them up in their districts. He will call them un-American. He will call them old creatures of a dying institution. Believe you me, he's going to make their lives just hell. Now, Trump already has the support of several Republican senators. So let's check in on just a few of them. In order of appearance, you're about to see Senators Josh Hawley, okay? Ron Johnson, Jim Banks.
Every day that the Democrats force the shutdown to go on, every day that they deny payment to our great federal law enforcement, every day that they hold hostage needy families, the president's arguments about the filibuster get a lot more attractive. And I think what he's saying makes a lot of sense, which is that the Senate needs to work, it needs to produce, Congress needs to produce. And if the Democrats are just gonna, if this is gonna be the new norm, if they're just gonna hold us hostage constantly for the next 3 years, we cannot allow that to happen.
I've always been a big supporter of the filibuster. It has stopped America from going down a socialist path for decades. But the president is right, and I told him, at this point in time, he's 100% correct.
I know why he's frustrated. I agree with him. We should change the Senate rules and do everything that we've ever dreamed of doing as Republicans. It's not just about reopening the government. It's about balancing the budget. It's about voter ID laws. It's about codifying President Trump's tariffs and his trade policy and being tough on China.
So you heard it from 3 prominent Republicans there, but many Republicans are still on the fence about this. They are. Others outright oppose any changes to the filibuster. Senator John Kennedy is one of them. Here's his take.
I explained to him, I said, Mr. President, the job of a senator is not just to advance good ideas. The job of a senator is also to kill bad ideas.
And how did he take your response?
Well, like you would expect.
Not happy?
He didn't. He wasn't unhappy. I mean, the president didn't yell or anything. My personal opinion, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. We're not going to change the filibuster or the blue slip while we're in charge during your or my natural lifetime.
Well, just in case, changing the filibuster would require 51 votes, or in other words, all but 2 Republicans. To that point, Republican Senator Thom Tillis stated this: it only takes 3rd grade math to figure out that if you've got 15 or more members that are dug in, it's not gonna happen. On the other side of the aisle, Democratic Representative Ro Khanna agrees with the plan to end the filibuster. Here's what he wrote. Donald Trump is right on killing the filibuster. It makes no sense that 51 senators can vote to keep government open. Thune can do this today. Can't rather vote to keep the government open. Thune can do this today. The filibuster is simply the senator ego and power protection mechanism. Is that what it really is? And we should all realize, and I'm sure Anna, of course, has her reasons, and I suspect this is among them, that fine, this will change everything. This will stop the gridlock. What say you, Cenk?
Yeah, so there's a secret reason why some of those Republican senators love the filibuster. So I'm going to come back to that in a second. But the case against the filibuster is easy, which is majority rule. So Ro Khanna's right, Anna's right. We've been saying it all along. Second thing is, guys, you got to stay principled, right? So back when the Democrats were in charge, we want to get rid of the filibuster. So now, when the Republicans are in charge, our principles shouldn't change. Now, there's one giant asterisk to that, which is kind of haunting me, but I'm still gonna say do the right thing and get rid of the filibuster, but I'm very worried about what they're planning for in terms of the elections. So like if they start proposing bills on how we vote right before we vote, super worried about it, right? Now I came up with an idea the other day on the show, nobody's gonna listen to it, but okay, let's get rid of the filibuster after the next midterm election. So in a year, right? So that way no one knows who's gonna win. Neither side has an unfair advantage. And you could pass it now saying it'll be in effect after the 2026 election. So that's fair. Now, of course, they're not gonna do that because neither side will vote for it because they're not sure if they're gonna win. But this is a rule that lasts for a long, long time. It's been around for decade after decade. So at some point we have to get back to majority rule. Why does nothing ever get done? It's because of the filibuster. Because it's nearly impossible to get 60 votes in the Senate. And so who's in favor of that? Well, the donors are. Why? Because the donors love the status quo. If you're already on top, you don't want to change anything. And if you don't want to change anything, the filibuster is your dream come true. It makes it nearly impossible to change anything. So why do you think 15 Republican senators are dug in, right? Because they're reporting to the Chamber of Commerce, they're reporting to all their corporate donors. And so those guys are going to impact them even more than Trump does. Because Trump is gonna leave at some point, but those donors are forever. So now in terms of the quick points on hypocrisy here, Josh Hawley saying, the Democrats are costing people, government workers and everybody else because the government shut down, they're holding us hostage. And then he's talking about how it's, SNAP benefits are gonna be affected because of this. Number one, it's the Republicans who are cutting SNAP benefits, so stop it. I mean, you're being an obvious liar. If you said, hey, you know what? I agree with the Democrats about SNAP benefits, okay, at least then you're being honest, and I'll give you credit for it. But when you go around pretending that Republicans are for more SNAP payments, come on, brother, come on. Bounds of reason. This holding us hostage line, you see them flip on it every time the other guys are in power, right? Before the Democrats were saying, the Republicans are holding us hostage on government shutdowns. Now the Republicans are using the same talking point. I'm so exhausted the way they switch sides every single time with no principles at all. And then finally, when Trump, and by the way, many other Republicans are saying the same thing, says, the Democrats would get rid of the filibuster in a minute. Wait, are we pretending that we all have collective amnesia? The Democrats were just in charge for the last 4 years, and we begged them to get rid of the filibuster, and they absolutely, positively refused. The Democratic senators love the filibuster even more because they're less grassroots these days. It drives me crazy. I wish that weren't the case, with notable exceptions of Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, etc. But most of the corporate Democrats and the corporate Republicans love the filibuster because it protects the status quo. And Sharon, that's why at the end, I'm with Anna and Ro, we should get rid of it.
Yeah. I'm with the good company, I like to say too. But when it comes to Trump and his threats, I mean, we just had this national election, basically, or elections across the country that showed people are really grown quite weary of Donald Trump. These threats, though, when you're calling out individual people in their districts, do you believe that it's going to work a little bit? Or do you honestly think these dinosaurs, or at least the filibuster in the Senate, lives because they can hold it together and say, no, dear leader, we're not gonna capitulate this time?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, do threats like that work? Yes, they definitely work. So media normally will tell you like, oh no, that's childish. What do you mean? We saw it happen with our own eyes. So Representative Wilson in South Carolina in Trump's first term did a mild critique of Donald Trump. I mean, it was so mild. Wilson's super far right, right? And Trump was like, my feelings have been hurt. I want him eliminated. And he was. He lost in a primary because he hurt Donald Trump's feelings. And he did that 3 or 4 times. Why do we all think that the Republicans all bow down to Donald Trump and are all bootlickers at this point, the politicians, not the voters? Because they know that if Donald Trump wants to eliminate you, he can. So now Donald Trump has used it for his own self-aggrandizement and ego and all of that. But if you used it on behalf of policy, to get policy passed for the American people, that would be a super powerful tool. I don't think Democrats use it nearly enough. And again, part of the reason is because they don't actually want real change. If you want real change, you would definitely threaten, bully, and intimidate other politicians. It's called carrots and sticks, softball and hardball. We all know it, we all learned it in school, but almost no one outside of Trump ever uses it. No, that strategically and stylistically, I don't mind at all. I mind what he uses it for, but he is correct that that is a better strategy. But in this case, Sharon, to fully answer your question, they know that Trump's time is out, we think, we hope, in 3 years, right? And like I said, ExxonMobil and Pfizer aren't going anywhere. So, and the corporations definitely want the filibuster in place. So what the dug-in Republican senators are doing is they're trying to stay quiet. Only Senator Kennedy has come out, the guy, Leghorn, Foghorn that we just showed you guys. So he's the only one, as far as I've seen, that's saying it publicly. The rest of them are in a witness protection program, and they're figuring if 15 of us huddle together inside a basement at the Chamber of Commerce, maybe Trump can't find us or can't eliminate all of us at the same time. So we're in a funny, strange bedfellows kind of situation there. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.